Okay, Kelim Perik Beis Mishnah Dalet. Panos. Again, we're talking about Kli Cheres, right? So a panos is a lantern, like a lamp, and made out of earthenware. Sheyesh beis kibul shemen, and you could put oil in it. Tameh is tameh. V'she'ein by tar, but if it's not, if it doesn't have any, meaning it doesn't have a place to hold the oil, then it's tar. Now, how's it going to light if it doesn't have a place to hold the oil? It must be you put in a jug, or a jar inside. You know, like our menorahs, you can light in the menorah itself, then you could stick the glass inside the menorah. Right? So that's what I'm assuming. So if it has a base kibble itself, so then it could become tummy. But if it doesn't, then it is tahar. Megufas hayotzrim shehu paseach. If you have so now megufas hayotzrim is basically a wheel that a potter has. Right? A yotzer is it literally means creator, but it means pottery. So basically, they take some sort of round stone, and that's how they mold the pottery. So shu paserba. So then it literally means that meaning you start. That's how you start forming it. Tahira, it's tahar. Vishu gaimer ba, but the one that you gaimer with it, the one that you finish it with, that's tameya. Right? Because the one that you started with has no place to hold anything, and the one that you finish it with does. Okay. Mashbach shabalabatim. If you have a mashbach from the word shayfech, to pour. So basically, it's a funnel. So you have a funnel, mashbach shabalabatim, tar, it's tar. Bishal reichlin. Tameh b'mnei shushal mida. And the one that's made from reichlin, that's tameh, because that's how he measures things out. Meaning the funnel would hold a certain amount of whatever liquids it is that he's measuring, right? And basically he would hold the bottom of the funnel with his finger so that it would be able to measure out a certain amount, and then that's how he measured things. So the balabas doesn't do that for his own thing because he's just using it to pour, but a salesman will. Right? Which is very interesting as it gets complicated because what's the difference? It's the same funnel. So now it's going to be dependent on how the person uses the funnel. Now you have seemingly the two of the same funnels. The balabas never stuffs it up. So for him, it's not a kli kibul. But the seller, the reichel, he does stuff it up. So for him, it is a kli kibul. That's what review the Meseira also. Though it's for a different reason. The Reichel, the peddler, he pours it. He puts it on its side, and he hands it over to the buyer to smell it to see if he's happy with the smell. Right. So, but basically, on his my Mishnah doesn't have a picture on this, but it's like an indentation in the funnel so that he can tilt it so that the liquid will stay in that indentation enough so that the buyer will be able to smell it. So Memela, it's okay. Right? Meaning not okay. Memela, it's a kli, and therefore it's going to be considered a kli kibul, and it will become tummy as long as it could hold on to liquids. Right? So this mission again is basically saying that a lantern, if it has a place to hold the oil, it's tameh. It doesn't have a place to hold the oil, then it's tar. And these wheels that they use to create the pottery, so the initial wheel, doesn't have a clay kibul, so mamela, it's not makabel tumah, and the other wheel does have a clay kibul, and a funnel. It depends. If it's a homeowner's funnel, then it's not makabel tumah. If it's a salesman's funnel, then it is makabel tumah. Either according to Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, because he stuffs it up with his finger or with something else in order to measure, or because he tilts it on its side and it has some sort of indentation where the oil will sit, or whatever he's measuring sits, so that the guy could smell it. All right, let's do one more Mishnah. Kisui kade yayin v'kade shemen, the cover of jugs of wine and jugs of oil. The kisui chaviyas neyaris, and the cover and the cover of barrels from neyaris. Right, meaning they're very tall. These are like tall covers. So theoretically, you take the cover and use it as a kli. So tahir in the tar v'miskinu l'tashmish. But if he decided to use it for something, then tameim, then they would become tummy. Right? Kisa, meaning as long as you decide not to use it, so then it's tar, because it's not meant to be a clay kibble.
Isn't it being used to cover the barrel or the jug?
Yeah, but it's not. It's just to protect it. Right. That's why you have a cake. What do you call those things? A cake, not a platter.
The
tray.
Cake holder.
Cake holder. I don't know, tray. So you don't have to toivel. You don't have to. A lot of times they cover it with a glass. That glass does not need tefillah. It doesn't have anything to do with the food. A pot cover does need tefillah, because pot cover is considered part of the pot. That's not exactly what this case is. But we're saying, but if you're going to decide to use the cap, so then it's going to be tar. It's going to be tar. Now, you have this also with the caps on Shabbos. Right? What's the whole problem with opening a cap on Shabbos? You're making it into a kli. Right? But on Shabbos, it's because you're physically making it into a kli. Here, I wonder, Taka, what you'd say. Can you decide to use the cap? The Mishnah here is saying, as long as you don't use it as a utensil, then it's tar. But if you decide to use it as a utensil, then it's tummy. So I wonder if you do that on Shabbos. I don't know. Kisei halafas, a cover of a stew pot, like we were just discussing with Manchu, nokov v'yesh lechidud, if it has a hole in it to let the air go out, the steam go out, right? V'yesh lechidud, or it has a sharp handle on top, then it's tar, because it's not a clay kibble. But if it doesn't have a hole and it does not have any sharp points, because you can theoretically strain the vegetables into it, right? Meaning she takes the vegetables and puts it into the pot cover, and that's how she strains it. So therefore, it's considered a clay kibble. The reason is because she takes the food itself and she smashes it, meaning she uses that cup, the pot cover, in order to smash it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see a little Musar. Missed a couple of days of Musar. So we were in the middle of discussing why you shouldn't be Mavaza Talmud Chacham. Right? So we said a couple of reasons. The main reason being that if you're going to be Mavaza Talmud Chacham, then nobody's going to listen to them. Right? So these reasons are strong as a kli. That's literally means a kli that you pour from. Meaning it means a strong kli.
To anybody?
Oh, you're asking good. So I think, you're 100%. But I don't think we're talking to his face. I think we're talking about. You're not saying lashon hara. You're just saying maybe it's even for te'elis, right? Unless it means you're not giving covered. Maybe that's what it means, David. Not giving enough covered. I hear what you're saying. Or it could be just you're not allowed to do it to anybody, but you're gonna get punished more for doing it to Talmud Chacham. That probably answers your question better. Meaning, Vadi, you're not allowed to do it to everybody, but Talmud Chacham is even worse. Yesha tam nichbad oila kulam. And there's another reason. And we hinted to it when we started when we're talking about the groups of bad people that we mentioned. Because it's very well known. The derech of making a Kiddush Hashem, the idea b'kol miftas v'sayim, um to let people know through the moving of your lips, and with any showing of the eyes, and with every hanhaga and action, meaning everything, all your action, that the yisoid, that the makar, the foundation of a person's nefesh, is utzvi edyoy. So as he touched yisoid nefesh adam utzvi edyoy, and his beauty, and anything that's good and that's teyelis and what's beautiful about him, is a person using all his talents and his beauty and his greatness for Hashem Yisbarach and his Torah, to fear him and his Torah. And doing this is covered to Hashem. Right? And so Mela, what he's saying, that's what everybody's supposed to be. And if you're Mavaza Talmidei Chachamim and Yerushalayim, they are being Mavatal this knowledge, and they're showing the opposite. That's like if they're saying that the avodah is not the ikr. And the covered and the hadar are for hatzlacha in the world, meaning it's not about Hashem, it's about people, right? And he's basically showing that humans have something to do other than Hashem, and that can't be. Okay, mechalim is a Torah. That's being mechal Hashem, the Torah. Okay, yoivdu mitecha kol. Therefore, they are going to be lost from the tzibur. V'yichlu be'efes tikva, and they're going to be gone without any sort of hope. Meaning they're not going to be able to go to Olam Haba. Because basically, he's saying if you mavaza Talmidei Chachamim, then you're being mavaza Hashem, right? But he's parenthetically saying another big yesod, which is that every last thing that a person does has to be geared towards Hashem. There's no personal life here. It's nothing, no personal life. Everything has to be for the Rebbeinu Shalom. Okay, it's the middle of a long one, so we'll stop with that.